All right, everyone. We got 8valuigi playing Wii Music Pitch Perfect. Sorry. Take it away.
All right, y'all. Thank you all for watching and being part of this Gamers Against Suicide marathon. The American Foundation for Suicide Prevention is very important, and I really appreciate all the money that's been raised thus far. We're going to be doing the Pitch Perfect category of Wii Music. It kind of bypasses the standard fare of this game, where you jam with your friends and make music videos. Instead of doing that, we're going to answer 80 music questions where the answers are randomized each time. So, if we're all good to get started, I can give a little countdown.
We should be all good
Five.
to go.
All right, cool. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, I hope you all like this jingle. You are going to hear it 80 times. So here, I'm just going to be doing some simple pitch matching here. It's going to tell me what the note is, and then I just have to match the me that's either playing or singing it. So there, they sing some really cursed low notes, and then I just match them, and they say "we" because they like to remind you what console we're playing on. Right there, all we had to do was just match the two that are playing the same note. That will be a recurring thing across every level. And right there, I just pick the higher note. Sometimes it can be randomized and tell you that it's the lower note, but overall, that's really the only thing that'll change. The format of the question stays the same. This is bonkers. This is called a mood prompt. And basically what it does, it gives you a mood and then tells you to pick a tune that's associated with the mood. So getting 3 cavities is sad. So we picked the sad one, the one that's in a minor key. All right, right there, our good friend there on the xylophone was playing the wrong note. And all we have to do is just make sure that we identify which one is doing so. It's really easy if you wear headphones because this whole game is in stereo, and me's that are on the left side will play in the left channel, and then me's that are on the right side will play in the right channel. And if it sounds pretty balanced, then you pick the instrument and or singer that's just there in the middle. This is probably the most video gamey thing in the run. We have the me's playing notes here on a little board, notated the way that like a piano roll would be. And all we have to do is just move it around to make sure it matches the notes that are played by the speaker. It's really important if you're looking to become like a new runner of this game to learn how to one cycle those. They're really easy on levels 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and sometimes 4. Sometimes 4, 7, and 8 can be really tough. And I don't know what Nintendo and whatever studio of Nintendo was thinking, but we match pitches with like dog barks and cat meows, which is pretty funny. But yeah, basically I started running this category in the like spring of 2021. My friend Hendrix, who also runs this game, shout out to Internet Mother, just brought over the disc one day. And we all like kind of played it together. Myself, Hendrix, and my wife Millie494. And I realized like this game is literally just an ear training test. And like I have a music degree. I'm a career musician, and I was pretty good at answering the questions. I was like, wait a second. Surely somebody has thought about speedrunning this, right? And I wasn't wrong. So ever since then, I've been working to get a good time, and then in the summer of 2021, I was lucky enough to get world record. And luckily enough, world record was like a rather intriguing race happening that summer in 2021, because there was also a new runner, the bassoonist 7513, who also got a new record around the same time that I did. Him and I traded world records in this category 11 times that summer, to the point where the record when it started off, before either of us started running the game, was 1848 by Theon EC. I believe when all was said and done, after the 11th lead change of that summer, it was an 18-1x time. So hardly like a week or two went by that summertime period where there wasn't a new world record in the category. That is a brutal pitch matching question. I was lucky enough to speedrun this category at SGDQ 2025, and I was really hoping that either would or would not happen so I could have something funny to talk about. But anyway, it happened here, and that's really funny. Wow. We love the timpani today, apparently. Not the most marathon safe thing, but that's what happens when you have a lot of RNG in your game. But anyway, yeah, myself and the Bassoonist traded world records 11 times. This is actually terrible RNG too, because this example for the mood prompt, for whatever reason, this one is like a full second longer than the other one you can get that literally just goes beep, beep, doop, doop, and then it's over. You can tell it's the saxophone on that one because the timbre is a little bit brighter. It's actually really rough when the sax and clarinet are right next to one another. Yeah, we just get a nice little E diminished chord there, where we put some things together. Okay. But yeah, after that summer, a couple things started to calm down as far as the world record race was concerned. The bassoonist just got like fairly busy at the time. And for me, I was in my like mid to late 20s at the time. I'm 30 now. Instead of taking up pickleball or something, I decided I would dedicate my craft to speedrunning Wii Music and lowering the time as low as it could possibly go. Was lucky enough to lower the time to a sub 18-minute time, and just recently, like in the past week or so, I was able to get a time of 17 minutes and 41 seconds, or sorry, 42 seconds after a retime. So it's crazy. I think we're kind of reaching the apex of the category as far as like, I think a 17.3x will probably be the end time, but it will probably just be like a mad dash to get there. There's such precision. Obviously, in marathons, I go a little bit slower to be able to explain everything, and it's a little tough to be yapping over like this game where the audio is the primary focus, but it's so worth it to just be able to show it to anybody who might be interested in trying it out. The interesting thing about this category, and something I've been working really hard to kind of curtail lately, is if you look in the top right, there's this little like thing that looks like a timer, but then the score at the end is also the time that's on the clock. So that timer is your score. Each time you complete a question and get it right, it adds 15 to the score. And each like second that you go without answering the question, it detracts time away. The interesting thing about that is if you get too good of a time, it's bad for speedruns. Oh, geez. Yeah, sometimes the Wii Remote has a mind of its own, too. But anyway, with this timer, my high score on level 4 is 166. If I were to meet or exceed 166, hold on, frame perfect trick coming up. I got it, although the Wii Remote really wanted me not to. So let's just say I got a 166 or above there. If I did that, that would play an unskippable 4-second animation that tells me I got a new record. It's rather infuriating to deal with. So, one thing that I've been driving myself insane doing as far as runs go lately is I've been doing ILs, individual levels, and in the ILs, I'm not bothering to listen for things. I am simply guessing like the first 2 or so answers. And in doing that, I'm able to get a score that is much higher than something I would get in an RTA run. So at this point, I've done that for almost all of the levels. And I'm finding myself like getting times that I didn't think were possible, and I just have to keep doing it. And it's really annoying because you have to like guess even more, and obviously that takes a while. So yeah, you definitely can get punished for being good at the game. For whatever reason, that is a really consistent thing across Wii series games. Wii Play also has that sort of weird inconsistency to it. They have an entire strategy built around it called score skipping. Nice B minor chord there. You know, shout out to Hotel California. Okay. Where are we at now? Okay, so like I was saying, these one cycles get like pretty easy to do until they're not. Here we have to move 3 Miis, but we get a lot of grace to be able to do it. If you happen to 2-cycle this, what happens is it plays the entire example again. Even if you get it right at the end of the slidey board, it doesn't super matter, because if you had a Mii in the wrong spot at any point, like as it's supposed to have been played, it will just play through the entire example again. So it loses a lot of time if you don't get it in one cycle. Thankfully, most of them are pretty easy to do, but in levels 7 and 8, we definitely have potential for them to be completely evil. Oh, nice. That's some favorable RNG there, where those 2 dog seats were just right next to each other. That's an instrument that exists in the game. Like, you can throw that into your jam session. You know, everybody knows that you need to hear September by Earth, Wind, and Fire as performed by all dog seats. That's just a fact of life. Some other funny instruments that you can do are the cheerleader, where there will just be a Mii with pom-poms making, like, some of the most absurd, like, little yelping noises. There's the cat suit. There's the NES horn, which is literally an NES controller with a mouthpiece. Hey, that's the Mario theme. And there are actually some other categories that are run in this game. There's one called All Mini Games, which is pretty fun. What that is you just play. Pitch Perfect is one of 3 mini games that exists in Wii Music. You play the other 2, which are Mii Maestro, which is a conducting game. If you'd believe it, the optimal strategy is to shake the Wii Remote as fast as possible to conduct through the songs quickly. And then there's another game called Handbell Harmony that's literally just an auto-scroller. I was thinking if I ever got that into an in-person marathon, that I would, like, invite people from the crowd to play handbells. Because, like, we're going to see an interesting 2-cycle that I don't think I've ever messed up in my life. Classic marathon nerves. Oh, well. I was always thinking, like, if I got that into an in-person marathon, like, it literally doesn't matter how you do on the handbell minigame. Like, you can get 0 points and it'll still just, like, progress you through to the next one. That being said, there is a category for Mii Maestro on its own. There's also a very cursed speedrun category, which is way too long. And there's, like, no measure of skill to it other than menuing quickly, but it's hilarious. It's called September All Genres, and you literally just play September. with all of the preset genres that the game provides to you. I haven't done it yet, but I think on my stream I'm going to do it on September 21st for obvious reasons. For whatever reason, whenever I do this category in marathons, the one who always messes up is this distorted electric guitar player. I'm glad to see that it's still ringing true for this. Oh, again, yeah, sometimes if you let go of the button to drag the Mii's to the platforms just a little too early, it's just going to fling it back to its original position. Yeah, so that one was the cavalry has just arrived in the nick of time. And it's supposed to be like, majestic. The hilarious thing about all of those mood prompts is just how like starkly different they all sound from each other. And yeah, so here in levels 7 and 8, we have to do 4-part harmonies. Oh my god, that's amazing RNG. All 4 of those chord tones were just right next to one another to make that beautiful B major 7 chord. Okay, so this is where the one-cycle checkerboard patterns can just start to be absolutely evil. Yeah, so I still had to move 3 Mii's there, but as you could see, the first 2 Mii's that I had to move were just a little precarious. It would be really easy to mess that up. Same with this one. I have to move this like pretty much frame 1. Oh, just barely. I held on to the button to grab the Mii a little too long. But either way, pretty nice level 7 for a marathon. Yeah, so as the game progresses on and on, there become more Mii's to choose from, and also like a shorter, like intervallic distance between all of the Mii's. Like, imagine you're looking at a piano and they're all like the very close keys together. That's kind of like what it gets to be like in these later levels. There's a good degree of like chromaticism, which is like if you were to play those all in a sequence. So it's a little tough to distinguish like what's the highest pitch or something like that. For whatever reason, question 5 of level 8 is like unbelievably hard. But that was really easy because we were blessed with the answer being the trumpet. Okay, and the reason that question 5 of level 8 is tough is because this timpani, as you saw in level 3, was pretty low. But we were blessed. It was actually a pretty discernible pitch there. Nice B3. Shout out to the Hammond organ. All right, nice. So we're approaching the end of the run. We just have to do one more 4-part harmony and then a couple more checkerboards. Okay, and the game was so generous. It wanted us to nail it in a marathon. It really wanted us to, show that those chords can be half diminished. And hey, this pattern actually isn't too bad. Oh, nice. Wow, yeah, that one was pretty tough on my world record grind. It just kept giving me the most evil pattern I could possibly get. But yeah, this is the last checkerboard of the run. Nice. Wow, we got a double 1 cycle in a marathon. So time is going to be when I hit the A button to clear this last level, and time. Wow. Really nice for a marathon. Super overestimate. I know you all were running a little behind. Hopefully those 2 minutes really help you. You guys can follow me on Twitch if you'd like at 8valuigi. You can follow me on Blue Sky at stk8va.bsky.social. And again, thank you all so much for raising $325 thus far for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Obviously depression and anxiety, they grapple at us, in a fairly, constant state. It's never easy to deal with, but thanks to marathons like this and missions like the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, we are hopefully able to curtail the losses that we, incur from suicide on, whatever basis we have it in our lives. That is me, 8valuigi. I hope you all enjoy the rest of the marathon this weekend. Thank you so much to the team for having me. And, whatever you do for the rest of the day, do it peacefully.
And thank you very much. Your commentary was the best part of the run. You had very great commentary.
Thank you.